Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time again, and I apologize for the slow rollout of these builds, but anyways, we're going to be doing both the Xeno Super Saiyan Goku and Xeno Super Saiyan Vegeta EZAs that just released on Dokkan as of November of 2024. So both of these units have the uniqueness that they are basically the exact same, and I'm not even joking about that. I'm really not. I wish I was. I wish they were kind of a little bit different, but there's not too many differences. I will say the major difference that you can find is, other than, they're Goku and Vegeta family centered, is that Goku is a physical type, which actually gives him more additional, and Vegeta is an intelligence type, which gives him more dodge. Both of these units need additional primarily to be used at their best abilities. So technically, the Super Saiyan Goku has a little bit of an edge. But anyways, let's just get into it. We're going to go over their kits, we're going to go over their defenses, but there's no roll tips for this one. The roll tips will just kind of go as we go along, and they're basically pretty straightforward. This is probably some of the least restricted Heroes units. Most people consider Dragon Ball Heroes units to be extremely restrictive, but these two are probably the least restrictive units in the entirety of the pool of Dragon Ball Heroes units, and I'm not even joking on that one. So, let's just kind of go over Goku real quick, and yeah. So, as far as his 200% options go, he's got quite a few options. Really, he does, and because he is Goku, he is also a Goku family support unit. Just keep that in mind. You can throw him onto Roshi's team. You can throw him on the Dragon Ball Heroes teams, of course, with Limit Breaker, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I would say he works very well, even on like STR Gohan's team. He is a Kamehameha unit, so he can go on there full 200%, and he has no real restrictions there. He can go on to Vegeta's Super Saiyan leader skill, but he's not really helping any Vegeta family because he's a Goku family. I'd say you could use him on Roshi's team, but he's probably not doing too much there. So as far as his leader skill, he's just a 150 Goku family. He greatly raises attack and defense, and that's a stack, by the way. He stacks greatly. He greatly stacks attack and defense, and he has a 70% chance to stun. So you got some good utility right there. Attack and defense, 150. Reduces damage received by 50% and launches an additional super for 1 turn for the character's entry turn. That's probably the most underwhelming part of his kit, in all honesty. Plus an additional attack and defense, 150. When there is another Goku family or Dragon Ball Heroes category ally on the team. Goku family category allies, key +3 and attack and defense plus 50%. So 50% support to Goku family. Very nice. Plus an additional attack plus 77% when performing a super attack. And launches an additional super attack, 50% chance of... He launches an additional attack that has 50% chance of being a super. And if there is another Dragon Ball Heroes category attacking in the same turn when attacking, or an extreme class enemy when attacking. So the only time that he gets this part of his passive is if you're fighting an extreme class enemy, or you have a Heroes unit on the same attacking rotation. I will say this is key to making sure that he does okay, because unfortunately, this is a stacking attack and defense supportive unit. And their defense is not amazing. Unfortunately, their defense is not amazing, and for whatever reason, the developers decided, you know what, they only need 50% for 1 turn, which is just not true. It's just not true. But I will say, you got your standard initial super attack. You have the first turn super attack, so that's 2 supers you can do. And then you have this third potential super attack in here as long as you're fighting an extreme class enemy or have another Heroes unit on the team. And then you have your hidden potential. So, potentially you can quad super turn 1. It's very low odds, of course. But, if he quad supers turn 1, I would say he's pretty he's set up pretty well. He would be set up pretty well in that instance. He does have pretty decent-esque links: Super Saiyan, Saiyan lineage, prepare for battle, experienced fighters. I think the weakest link he has on here is Patrol, and the only reason for that is because Patrol is basically only a heroes unit or a very select few of other characters that you're probably just not going to be running with anybody else other than heroes. As you can see, it's basically these 4 right here, and then some random units to be chucking on there. It is a good link, you know, Key +2, defense +20% is very good. That's a very good link. But unfortunately, he's just not going to activate it very often. He's on plenty of categories, as I said, but the major thing is like, his best link partner is the Xeno Vegeta, and honestly, you should be running them right next to each other. They do share a good portion of links. I will say Super Saiyans is probably their best home outside of a heroes team, so keep that in mind. I don't think there's too many other teams you could rock them both on that would really help too much at the time of riding. You know, in the future, if bonded parent and child get a little bit better, then, you know, you can probably go for it. But as of right now, yeah, that's about it. And then, of course, links up with other heroes units and a couple other Gokus and so forth. So let's go ahead and go take a look at his defense. Compliments of Halvard. And without support, you know, if you manage to double super, you're looking at 640k. If you get 6 super attack effects in there, you know, you'll be at a start of turn defense of 1.2 million. And then if you can additional and triple super of that turn, getting up to a 9 super attack effects, then you'll be at, you know, 1.4, 1.6, 1.7, and then so on and so forth. So I think the biggest thing to think about here is that this unit will get better as the fight goes on. So it's a very long-running term unit, and that's something you should really take into consideration when using this Goku and this Vegeta. So, well, let's just go right into Vegeta right here, not waste any more time. So for Vegeta, you know, he's got probably similar leaders that you can run with, but the primary other one is, you know, just Super Saiyan Vegeta. Oddly enough, even the Namek Vegeta. You got the Super Saiyan Trio as a 200% lead, and then, of course, Heroes units. Ideally, I'd say Super Saiyan Vegeta. Super Saiyan transforming Saiyan Day Vegeta is his best leader outside of a Heroes team. Obviously, you know, he's a Vegeta family supporter, so. He's a 150 Vegeta family leader. He greatly stacks attack and defense and greatly lowers attack. Personally, I find this immensely more useful than lowering defense, depending on the situation. I find that greatly lowering attack helps a lot more generally. Unfortunately, greatly lowering is only 30%, but it does, you know, for a unit that's a stacker and has built-in additionals, this is pretty nice. So he has literally, I'm not even kidding you, the exact same kit. The only difference is you got to flip-flop with Goku family to Vegeta family. So attack and defense 150, guards all attacks, turn 1, launches additional super, attack and defense 150 when there's another Vegeta family or heroes units on the team. Vegeta family category allies, key +3, attack and defense so 50%, plus an additional attack plus 77% when forming a super, and launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super when there's another Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, or an extreme class enemy when attacking. So, as I said before, they basically have the same exact kit, though Vegeta's links are a little bit different. He does have Royal Lineage, which is technically not a bad link skill. It does link with, like, Evolution Blue Vegeta, and a couple other units. But overall, I'd say Royal Lineage and Prodigies are some of the most least used links that you'll probably come across on this unit. But he has Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, etc. Like I said, just like with Goku, his best link partner is probably going to be the Super Saiyan Xeno Goku as his best link partner. Otherwise, he's just a floating support and stacker, and then a Heroes unit link battery. So, I still think he's very good. And I almost like him a little bit better than Goku. only because of the attack lowering, and he just feels like you need him more often with Vegeta family rather than Goku. You don't often think about having a Goku family support unit, but when it comes to Vegeta family, you really do often think, yeah, I could use a Vegeta family support. I really could. So if we just go take a look at his defense, it's going to be about literally the same, but his defense is a little higher stat-wise. So you'll actually have a little bit higher defense with Vegeta than you will with Goku, ironically. Though I will say that will probably balance itself out just because of the lesser chance of additionals with Vegeta over Goku. You know, with post-super, 6 super attacks, you know, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, 1.8 at 9 stacks. You gotta understand, though, 6 super attack effects is quite a bit, you know? Unless you get the very, very rare chance of, like, quad supering on turn 1, I have personally had times already where he supers once and just normal. Yeah. So it's pretty rough. You know, it's really comes down to RNG when it comes down to both of these units, super attacking and getting their stacks in. I really do wish that they had actually kept this part of their passive, you know, reduce damage received by 50%, launch an additional super attack. If that had stayed with Goku, he'd be immensely better of a unit. In fact, he would have aged gracefully. And then with Vegeta, he has guard, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. He doesn't have 50% damage reduction. He has guard all attacks and launches and just super attack for 1 turn. If they had kept that, they would have immensely aged so much better. And I guess they were just kind of cowards about it. They were just kind of cowards about it. I did kind of want to just kind of go over here and show my Goku. My Goku is not built properly, but I did focus up on additional. I gave him level 17 additional. I did have crit built into him because he is a stacker, and because he is a stacker, I wanted the potential damage, especially for like burst mode. And yeah, burst mode pretty much. Burst mode and other longer fights. I just felt like they could help out a lot more in those kind of instances. And as far as like Vegeta goes, I think he's about similar. Yeah, I gave him 23 additional and only 9 crit. I felt like Vegeta was more useful as a defensive unit, you know, and getting and you know, more. I didn't really give him any dodge, but I just 100% focused up on the additional because they're stackers, you know? They're stackers. You gotta give stackers additional. That's what they're designed for. That's what you should give them. And that's what I chose to do primarily. So I am curious, though, how everyone decided to build both Xeno, Goku, and Vegeta Super Saiyans. Let me know down in the comments below, and let me know if there's any other units you would like me to do builds of. I'm going to try and get the Heroes units all done this month or within the next week or so. And I'm going to have a nice big video showing off every single Dragon Ball Heroes unit at once. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night.